I wanted to close my discussion about classroom design and about the way that I run the class with a little bit about myself and about why I truly believe that this new method of education will change the education forever, and why I want to be a continuous part of this process of changing education, and what do I expect from the future of education. I'm a teacher that works in Meadow Lakes Academy. I work in South Florida, in the city of Miami. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. And it's actually all the way in the west, close to the Everglades, and north also in Miami. And it's a beautiful school. It's a charter school. It's a brand new school, and we're growing and becoming better and better. And I'm very glad to be a part of the beginning of this career in education. And I also love to be a science teacher with a brand new science lab and a lot of great stuff in class as well. I'm also the advisor for the National Junior Honor Society and the current freshman class from the year 2012, and it's my pleasure to actually be in those jobs as well. And I'm a fun teacher. I like to go crazy and go over the top on everything. And I'm also a person that I'm a very deep geek. I love everything sciencey and math related. Definitely, I'm a gamer. I like to play video games a lot. I like to watch a lot of TV shows, including a lot of the TV shows the kids are into. Definitely love Star Wars. You can see Star Wars all over my classroom. But the love of my life is definitely my fiance. I'm getting married in February 19th of 2012. I'm looking forward to that. And so I'm a teacher, I'm a future husband, and I like to be a friend to my students and a fun teacher. And I like to bring education to a new level. And I truly believe in preparing kids for the future and for the world that awaits to them. And that education should go beyond the content, but actually prepare the kids for what's ahead of them. And let's talk about that and why I want to do these things. So the first reason why I wanted to do this kind of change is because of the future. What's expected of the kids. To really prepare kids for the future, we have to prepare them for the world that's ahead. And the world that's ahead is a world full of technology and full of creativity and inquiry. Over 200 years ago, most of society used to work with physical labor. We used to be farmers, used to be workers, we used to be manufacturers, those kinds of things. And think about all the ways society has changed. Farming, manufacturing, all of that has changed tremendously because now we have machines to do all those jobs. Think about how the way you construct houses. We don't have masonry anymore. We don't have masons. We just have this cookie-made houses we put together largely with the use of machines. You still have construction workers, but they do much easier of a job than they used to do back in the day, and it's much faster too because of technology. Farming, manufacturing. In fact, nowadays cars barely see human touch before they actually complete it. The whole process is automated with robots and assembly lines. So physical labor has been decreasing a lot, and a lot more mental labor, or things like pushing papers, secretarial job, office work, sitting at the computer, doing work. That's the way that most people in America are now working. And so we work with mental jobs. And so physical labor jobs are considered the low-paying jobs in most aspects of society, and the mental jobs are now considered the ones that actually give you more money. But everybody knows that the creativity jobs where you invent something, where you express something, where you are your best with either your body, your mind, or your art, is the ones that makes the most money. And it's actually the direction that the world is heading into. Because if you stop to think about it, in another 50 years or so, mental jobs will be extinct. The same way the physical labor is now changed, mental jobs will change. Why do you need an accountant? Why do you even need a doctor to diagnose you? You don't need that. A patient can talk to a computer, give them their symptoms, and the computer makes an analysis of what's most likely the disease the patient has, and then a nurse comes through and does the same way they do it today. They or even a robot can actually check the vitals of the patient, and then order some. The computer can order some tests. The person does the tests, and then maybe at that point, after the computer evaluates the test results, gives you the most likely hypothesis for what the diagnosis is, maybe that's when the doctor will come in and actually analyze the patient and help treat the patient. But even things like surgery, delivering, eventually robotics can replace all of that. What can't be replaced yet is the human creativity. Inventing better medicine, inventing better cures, inventing better machines, inventing new ways of building bridges, inventing new designs, inventing new forms of art and expression, new forms of music. Creativity, inquiry is at the forefront of society, and also technology. Already we spend most of our work days sitting in front of computers. If you're a worker, ask your dad, ask your mom. A majority of people, unless you're involved in physical labor, mental workers, the ones that get paid more, usually work mostly in the computers. Now ask yourself this question. How much time are you spending in most of your classes in the computer? Not very much compared to the way society is established. How can you expect to prepare your kids for society if they're going from 8 to 3 o'clock into school and barely touching a computer? How are you preparing them from a society that's basically technology-based? How are you preparing kids for being creative, inquisitive learners ask yourself, in what classes during your day of school do you actually find yourself creating stuff? New material, new information, or are you just absorbing information? Are we really creating critical thinkers which are able to use technology? I don't think so. We need more creativity. We need to sponsor the kids and put them in a position that helps them create online content, create and design their own experiments, design their own artistic exploits, make them involved with the process of actually doing something wonderful. Also, they have to start using the technology that's going to be centered of their life. They have to learn how to program computers. It's not enough to know how to run Word anymore. It's not enough how to run Excel, how to visit websites. You need to know how to create websites. You need to know how to create software, how to design an app, how to work with Flash, how to work with Web 4.0, HTML 2.0, how to create videos, how to network. Can you create a video and get 30,000 hits in less than 2 hours? Well, a lot of people can. How do they do it? If you have that kind of skill to market, don't you think you're going to be wanted on the job market? Of course. And so all of these things are going to change the face of the employment in the future. And we have to get the kids ready for that. We have to get kids used to using the technology in their day by day, because when they are workers, 15, 20 years from now, when these kids are in the workforce and they're the bulk of our nation, they need to be used to doing that. They can start to learn it by the time they're in the workforce. They have to start right now. And that's why I'm changing the classroom to be more creative, more technology-based. But that's not just about that. It's also about my career as a teacher. New teachers will no longer be deliverers of information. You don't need someone to stand in the front of the classroom anymore and tell you stuff. Because now we have things like Wikipedia, which actually is not the encyclopedia, which is not based on one person, but anyone can go there and change the content, true. But anybody else can also make sure that content is right. And so that you don't have one person to deliver information, you have the whole world creating an encyclopedia. It's actually very good. As anything else, it shouldn't be your only source, but it's a good source. The same thing, you have videos online, anything you want to learn about, you can look at Google and find videos, diagrams, websites, pictures, everything is online now. Information is so easily accessible, what's even the point of knowing all this stuff anymore? You can just pull up a cell phone and ask Siri, let me see, what is a robot? So she's thinking. It's still kind of slow, but
checking on that for you.
She says, checking on that for me.
This might answer your question.
She says, this might answer your question, and then there comes the answer. A programmable machine that can carry out a series of complicated motions often used in manufacturing. Information at your fingertips. I didn't even need to click on anything. Obviously, when you're a doctor, you're going to be looking up where's the heart, right? Obviously, that's not going to work. So you still need to know some information in order to do jobs out there. But my point is, it's more important to know how to use information and create information. It's more important to actually help students go beyond the content and become people who actually consolidate information and make new information. In fact, create new technology even. That's the jobs of the future, and so we have to prepare students for those things. They can't be encyclopedia machines anymore because the web is doing that for them. What they need to be is people who create better ways of communicating, better ways of accessing information, better ways in better ways to distribute information, and then even create information itself. And now, also, teachers of the future need to work collaboratively with other teachers and with the students. Teaching is not going to be about I am the center of information and the students are learning from me, but it's more like we all learn from each other in a process where we all contribute to the learning. That's the future. That's how the web works now. Web 2.0. Classrooms shouldn't be teacher-centered. They should be student-centered, and teachers should be more of guides than actual lecturers. The lecturing is a thing of the past. Things like Khan Academy are going to replace teaching altogether. And so if you want to be a teacher of the future, you can't be doing what lectures for too long. In about 15 years or 20 years, you'll be out of a job if you're that kind of a teacher. We have to learn. That's another reason why I'm changing the classroom. Another reason why I'm changing the classroom is for mastery purposes. In real life, you don't get to be like, oh, wait a second. Oh, you want a burger? Sure, I'm going to make you a burger. Here's your bread and lettuce. I'm sorry, you seem to have made a mistake on my burger. Can you please go and fix that? Even the simplest of jobs, it doesn't work like that. Oh, I made a mistake. Don't worry about it, man. Next time we'll do better. Next? No. If you don't do well on your job, your boss makes you do it again and again and again until you do it right, or you get fired. So real life needs to mock a method in which students are not allowed to progress past a topic until they learn it. How is it ever okay to get a D in a test and you just forget that? Maybe next topic you do better. That's not okay. Students need to be learning this stuff, and so they need to be going at their own pace in order they can actually learn. Also, mocking game design helps motivate the kids and engage them in an environment that's exciting and actually points and going through the system. It looks like real life where you actually progress and there's a leaderboard and you go at your own speed and you don't necessarily have to go, which brings me to another topic, another reason why I'm making this change. Pacing. Kids need to have the choice of going at their own speed. And so that they don't have to be overwhelmed. If they're fast, they don't have to be held back. If they're slow, they don't have to be pushed forward too fast and learn nothing. Now, think about the way it's going to be in the future. It's not going to be anymore about, because right now when you go to school, it's about how much you learn. You have 1 year to learn that much biology. So it's about achievement in a fixed amount of time. But in the future, that's going to change. The variable is not going to be how much you learn, but everybody learns the same thing. What changes is how long it takes you to learn it. So while some people will learn all of biology in 3 months, other people will take 3 years to learn the same biology. But it's okay because maybe they don't want to be biologists. But the point is everybody's got to get through that. But the difference is that how fast you're learning it. And you're not going to be judged based on how well you learn it, because everybody has to hit that no matter how long they take on it. It's going to be based on your product. Did you create something? It's not going to be about a grade point average anymore. It's going to be about where's your portfolio? Show me your creativity. Show me your inquiry. Show me your use of technology. Can you perform? Colleges are going to stop looking for people who have great grades, and they're going to start looking for people who actually produce something unique, something new, something exciting, something creative. And so they're not going to hire people who are the best workers that know everything anymore. They're going to be hiring people who can actually produce new things. It's about creativity. And so we have to change the classroom environment to mock that. And that's why I'm making this change as well. Also, because of diversity. People learn in different ways. It should be okay for us to choose how to learn and choose the activities of on how we're going about the learning. And even choosing what we learn. And when we learn it. And so education is going to change from this model that everybody learns the same thing at the same space, at the same time, in the same amount of time, to something that you choose what you learn in which order, and also how long you take to learn that. But that at the end, you must learn a certain amount of stuff and produce creative, deep, critical thinking products that display that you can actually innovate instead of just absorbing information. You can create new technology and new information. The future is going to be for people who are prepared to be creative, technological people who are more than just information machines, but also people who can use this information and be creative about them. A classroom full of innovation and cooperation between teachers and students and students and students, where all the teachers work together to create a master classroom environment where everybody's learning really well at their own pace. This is education for the future, and we can't stop this motion. It's going to happen, and I want to be at the forefront of that. And that's why I'm making that change, because I want to prepare students for the future. All right? Please enjoy the flipped classroom mastery design.